What's up, everybody? It's 8:43 p.m. Oh, I should have put air in my front tire too. Oh well, we'll see if we make it. I knew my back tire needed air. I didn't know my front tire needed it. It's 8:43 p.m. Sunday, May 10th, Mother's Day. It's nice out. I don't know what temperature it is, but it's nice out. I'm gonna take a little ride here in the park. Figure I need a little cardio. Watch out for Dead Man's Curve. Always watch out for this one. This is one of the most dangerous places, I think. Because it comes up on you fast and people, oh, I just noticed that here. See that guardrail there? They cut it out, and I don't know what they did, maybe some water work, but they did a good job. I was wondering how they were going to do that, because the old guardrail is into the concrete. They cut it out. This now is bolted into the sidewalk, which I don't know if that's a good idea. Whatever. The old guardrail there goes into the ground. Here what they did is they cut it and then bolted in. So we'll see if it lasts, but it's a nice job. They did a nice job matching. I like that. That's some good workmanship there. I don't know if it's as strong as the old one, but hey, it's done, right? Sometimes you just got to keep moving. You got to go with what's done, right? We can't do everything ourselves, right? We can't. Or I can't. I statements, right? I can't do everything myself. Yeah, whatever. I think the idea is that we have to work together. There has to be cooperation from everybody, whoever's out there, no matter who it is. And it doesn't matter. We're going to see if they fix that fountain out here. I know they cut out my fountain. And the one I've been drinking out of for over 30 years, it's a good lead taste to it, you know? Delicious. Look at me. I'm growing up strong and normal. But, you know, I think that's what... How does a group like the Chicago Teachers Union and CORE and Brandon Johnson that hyperpolarizes issues and individuals and actually creates, wow, look at that. What's that, bunny rabbit there? Look at that. Oh man, what is he going sideways there? He looks like he's hurt. Right, that guy looked like he was hurt. Yeah, so how does someone who hyperpolarizes issues down to individual levels creates animosity against the government, when actually what's funny is they are the government. It's funny how they talk about fighting the power and fighting billionaires, and they're hooked up with J.B. Pritzker and they're the power. Anybody ever noticed that? Has anybody even questioned that the mayor, Tony Preckwinkle, and J.B. Pritzker talk about fighting for the working man when none of them are working people? Never, ever have been. Brandon has never been a worker. Tony's never been a worker. And JB's never been a worker. But they're championing the causes of the working man. And they make fun of Trump. And you can say, yeah, he never really worked hard in his life, but he's never been given anything in his life besides some money from his dad when he first started out. And everything he's got has been on his own. You know, I don't like his bankruptcies, but in the end, he's a businessman. He figured it out. He forgot how to get elected, right? Think about that. The man figured out everything on his own. Yeah, was his dad rich? Was his dad a little associated with the Ku Klux Klan, maybe? Maybe. Probably. But hey, that's the way life is. We all get to choose what we want to do. That's his choice, right? But I guess what I'm getting into is, think about this. We have people in our state in our city, in our county, that are talking about fighting for the little guy when they've never been the little guy. Never, ever, ever, ever. And now, where everybody sees there's issues going on with the economy, crime, the weather, all of this stuff, right? Everybody now agrees there's global warming, crime is increasing. What's up, my brother? So everybody agrees that it is, right? After years of lying. Now the mantra is, look, we're fighting for the little guy. We all have to stick together. Wait up. First of all, none of you are little guys. You're not the little guys. None of them. Not 3 of those people I just mentioned. Not one of them. Not even the head of the union, Stacey Davis Gates. She's from South Bend, Indiana. And her family's all been political. She's never had a real job. She's never worked in the Dominics. She's never worked as a cleaning lady. Right? Never been a sweeper on a construction site. Never did house cleaning for people, right? Or housework or anything like that. So you're talking about the elite liberals who now say that they're going to what? Work for the working man, and the working man needs to support them. Yet they've never done anything except leech off the working man. They're all leeches. And in fact, in JB's history, he's been anti-worker, right? There you go, my faucet's out. They never fixed it yet. Should have went and got some water at that last one over there. Oh, well, we'll go to the park over here. Hey, this faucet, I've been drinking out of this faucet for over 30 years. They're changing it. Right there, this one. I got videos of it. I got videos just around this faucet here. And now, when it's clear they've been lying for multiple years, cheating in elections, lying about the migrants, lying about the economy, lying about services, lying about crime, lying about the world. Now they say, oh, we need to get together and we all need to be friends and we need to fight together for the working man, when they're the ones that are the anti-working man. Imagine we have smash and grabs. We have people being robbed. We got people being killed, carjacked, people being beaten in broad daylight in our downtown. That's all anti-worker. It's all anti-business. There's nothing pro-worker about that. Yet, we have rules and policies that the police follow blindly. Oh yeah, that's some good fresh lake water. Look at that. That's delicious there. See that there? And the police follow it blindly. And the police follow politics rather than the law. They should understand that the people are the ones that give them the power. And if they're not careful, the people can take that power away from them. First, they'll elect people that are pro-crime fighting. And once they figure out that there was a bunch of police officers and administrators that were anti-worker, right, that they were promoting neoliberal policies to harm the working class, to harm the business class, right, allowing crash and grabs, allow carjackers to drive around the city without stopping them because there's anti-stop policies, following don't arrest teenager policies. There's policies that you can't arrest teenagers in Chicago. Everybody knows that policy? I mean, there is a policy like that. You are not to arrest teenagers. You have to have approval. And when people figure out that people we paid for with our tax dollars did this, they're gonna say the first thing, like I had an experience the other day, and I'll talk about it another time. Oh, he told me to do it. You know, my answer to that person was, yeah, we adjudicated that in the Nuremberg trials. You can't say I was following orders, especially as it to harm people. It's not an excuse. Everyone has a right of choice, and that right of choice comes from the right of free will. In whatever society we live in, any society, whether it's the ultimate theocracy like Iran or Afghanistan, or the ultimate totalitarian society like North Korea, or China, or the ultimate tribalism like we have in Somalia and Ethiopia, or a junta like in Myanmar. Every individual on God's earth, and it's given to us by God, has a right to free will. We have a right to decide what we choose to follow. And you can argue, well, I don't want to go to jail, but I don't want to be harmed, because those are the rules they tell me I have to follow. No, that's wrong. We have a free will. We have a free will to choose the rules that we follow. And there's the ultimate universals, like the Nicomachean Ethics talks about. The universals of justice, truth and good and bad. You know, those can be manipulated. But there's true universals of justice and good and bad. Good and bad can be manipulated also. But there's only one thing that matters: the fact, and whether it harms people or it doesn't harm people. When there's groups of people, a couple of people or individuals that say, I'm doing this for your good, I'm doing this because I think it's good, and it actually harms people, whether it's one harm, 100 harms, 1,000 harms, or 1,000,000 harms, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right? Mother's Day. I don't usually do this. I don't like doing this, right? But I'm going to do this on Mother's Day today. This is a mother here. That's a mother there that passed away. She was murdered. She was murdered. That mother was murdered by a man who was let go. She was murdered by a man that should have been in jail. She was murdered by a man who the politicians allowed to leave. And she was murdered because the politicians and the government didn't protect her. Right there, that person, that woman. Look it up. Look up this case. I don't do things off the whim. I wasn't even planning to come here. God rest this woman's soul. Look it up. What is this? 3802 South Damen? Look it up. Murdered. Look it up. Look up that lady. She doesn't deserve to be dead. She deserves to be alive. I think she had 3 children. She was murdered by a man that should not have been loose. Someone let her loose. How many of those people that let that man loose are in prison today? How many of those people who allowed that criminal to murder that mother, whose children have no mother today, are now in jail? You know how many? None. None. There's none in jail. None are accountable. None have, what's up, my brother? None have been held accountable. They haven't paid any consequences. And guess what? If they're not accountable and there's no consequences, there's no deterrence. No politician in Chicago, Cook County, or the state of Illinois has any deterrence to file policy, laws, administrative directives, or even use our tax dollars for personal political ideology and post it on the internet. Yet that mother there is now passed away, and those children don't have their mother. Why? Because a politician was selfish. Because the police didn't arrest the killer before he killed her. Because the prosecutors didn't protect that mother. Because the judge didn't protect that mother. Because the parole officer didn't protect that mother. That's why she's passed away today. Free will. Every one of those people chose to allow that killer to kill their mother. Every single one of them. And none of them have been held accountable. Not one. Not one. Not one. We all have free will. One day, the only day that's going to count is when you have to go see St. Peter. And he's going to say, what did you do with your free will? Did you do what was right, or did you do what was wrong? Did you harm, or did you help? And there's not going to be no going back at that time, because you won't be able to go back. That's the end. That's the time, the judgment. You can play whatever games you want to do on the internet. You can lie about the facts. You can manipulate the facts. You can pretend you're righteous. And you can go to church and you can pray and you can think that you're saving people. But in the end, if you allowed a woman to be murdered by a man that should have been locked up, if you allowed that man to run loose in our city to go terrorize and harm people and take the ultimate thing of a life away from her children, then you're guilty. And guess what? You're going to be judged one day. That's all I got for Mother's Day. Sorry to be that way, but it's an important day. Hopefully you guys go out, enjoy the weather. Look at those beautiful dogs right there.
Thank you, brother. Thank you
Look at those beautiful dogs. This is a nice neighbor of ours. You see those nice little slights they got? That's cute.
Well, thank you, sir.
There you go, man. Good seeing you, my brother.
Hey, good to see you as well.
There you go. Did you take care of your mom today?
I'm actually talking to her on the phone right now.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. You got a good son there.
Thank you.
You got a good son there. He's a good neighbor.
Fucking try, man. Thank you.
Hey, no swearing in front of Mom, bro.
You're all right, but she grew up with a knucklehead.
All right, take it easy, knucklehead.
Yep.
You guys have a great day.
Take care now, brother.
Take care, brother.
You got mothers to your mom as well.
Yeah, I will. Thank you, my brother.
Take care.
All right, that's all for us today, right? Hopefully you have a good night. Don't forget to call your mom up. SubX.News over and out.